learned lessons, relationships, a conversation. The state of relationships today doesn't look promising. I've seen a lot of back and forth from both sides. It's just like most things in today's society is back and forth, and everything is pushing out to the to what used to be an outlier. Now it's almost a norm, and unless that pendulum slows down, or which normally they don't, it's not going to get any better. Uh, though I understand where it's coming from, I understand where both sides are coming from. I understand the side, obviously, from the men's take. You know, when you want to build a family, you want somebody positive to build it with, somebody who sees the future and understands what you're trying to do. Your goals are similar, and you're trying to build something. But if you have people who are only focused on themselves and only focused on what other people think about them, then obviously that person is not really ready for a serious relationship, or really ready to build something positive. Uh, the state of black women is interesting. It's not completely their fault. I mean, obviously, everything that we deal with goes back to 400 years ago and things we've been dealing with, right? Obviously. Uh, so a lot of it comes from that. You had mothers that had to protect their sons when they saw what happened to the male of the family. So there was extra precaution, obviously, taken to protect that child during those times. A lot of that's carried over. Um, I think, well, I mean, obviously, we've had so many issues each generation, each decade that has compounded the situation. Uh, from that, uh, from the drugs, from uh, uh, government wanting to step in and take a position that was meant for the father. There's been so many aspects that have compounded the issue. So I understand where they're coming from. I know it's not helping the situation where they are today, uh, but to a certain degree, I mean, I understand it. I mean, you kind of pushed to a corner, and it's like how far do I have to go to play this game? How long do I have to stay humble to make it to that next step, that next level? Um, in my opinion, you should be humble anyway in all things. You know, this desire, this passion to step out and want to be seen and be admired and be and to be uh, looked upon as doing all of these great things. I mean, obviously, I understand. I mean, everybody is going to deal with ego, and they have ego. So, yeah, I, I mean, I get it. But there's no balance. And if you don't have any balance, you don't have some of the foundational skills to build a relationship. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of wrong or to go around. I mean, everybody's got a piece in this problem. Uh, society has just as much of an issue of stake in screwing things up as we do. So we have a fault to accept. Uh, the men, the women, society, everything does. Um, and so the fact of the matter is that any person is going to get in where they fit in. They're going to step in and find out where they come into the equation and do what they need to do. So if you have a large number of females who want to sit around and say, "Oh, I need this or I need that," and you guys are looking like, "Well, wait, I don't even know your last name." They're telling you all of these things that they want. Yeah, it's not a good thing. It's not a good process. Uh, but the game is going to work itself out, and it always does. Because essentially each interaction that people have, it's an arm's length transaction. So you have something I want. If I have something that you want, if we come to an agreement, that's great. If we don't, we move on. I think one of the big problems though is that a lot of people tend to want to fire off and take shots at people because they don't agree with them or because they have some difference of opinion. Um, I would be doing the same thing if I called them a name for doing it. So I'm gonna try not to do that. But it's again, that is not a good look. I mean, if a person is not agreeing with you or if they have their own opinion, that's fine. Everybody can be respectful on both sides. I would hope that everyone can be an adult and you can have a conversation, you can disagree, and you can go about your business. But to attack someone just because you have a difference of opinion, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's just something you need to get beyond and learn to work to accept differences of opinion. And if two people don't come to terms, it's fine. It's a lot of people on the planet. You'll find someone else. Both will find someone else. So go find somebody else. Let's not sit here and we tit for tat and this and that. Obviously, some of it's going to be for views. I understand that too. But to attack this situation in a real sense, I think both sides have to do better. We all need to. We need to as our own society, if you will, if you want it to get better. And you don't have to. I'm not saying you have to kiss anybody's patootie or whatever, but you know, respect yourself first, and you respect others. So we can have an adult conversation. We can, if we don't come to terms or disagree with each other, it's fine. I'll move on. Hey, nice meeting you. Have a great life, and it's on to the next one. I mean, it's we engage in too much drama. I mean, some of it can be fun, or you may get a little laughter out of it, but after a while, it gets tiring. It's tiresome, and it's a waste. It's a waste, and you're gonna continue to waste away while you're doing all this, and there's no progress. Maybe that's not your goal, though. What is your goal? I mean, do you even know what your goal is? I'm not going to speak on it on this one because it can go in so many different directions, but I will do another vid on when you're talking about family and kids. But the state of relationships is, and it's not just our society. It's our small piece of the pie. It's all relationships are dealing with that, and that's going to go into another video later because when you look at society and what it's going through, you're looking at rights and freedoms. And again, that's going to be another one. I'm not going to get on that now. Rights and freedoms, but that one's coming. So just a little 1-2 on relationships. Just just start with yourself, and you know, you don't need to go through and get all the drama. You don't need to entertain it. Just be respectful to yourself and be respectful to others. And if they can't handle that, quietly move on. Quietly move on. I know the numbers are dwindling. It was a lot easier during my time. uh, we didn't have all this. We didn't have the social media. We didn't have back during my time. You were usually trying to get away from stuff or get away with doing something and not being seen or not being caught, as opposed to everything you do these days, they want to be seen doing it. So it's I mean it's a total flip flop. It's a 180, and that's going to cause a lot of the issues. So um, again, it's part society. It's got its hand in this too, as far as causing the issue. So I think one of the biggest things is learning to discern. I mean, that's one of the most important things that you can do is understanding and learning how to discern who you're dealing with as quickly as you can. I mean, I don't think it takes much, but obviously not everybody can do it. So, and then it's a matter of what's important to you when you do meet people. I mean, if you're just interested in looks, or if you're just interested in being seen with people for whatever reason, and not really trying to build, really trying to create something as far as a relationship. Because when you're dealing with relationships, this is about giving. This is about working together, giving of yourself, compromise. Because obviously you're already two different people. You have usually somewhat similar backgrounds, so you have that to build on slightly. But you have to there has to be giving from both sides. And yeah, I know people like to use the term equally yoked or whatever, but how about you just, I care about this person cares about me, and let's just go and try to build something. Um, it's always going to be an issue. It is what it is. I mean, obviously, society is going to always be a part of your relationship, but the more you can keep it out, the better you'll be. The better your relationship will be. It's kind of hard to understand that, but learn lesson.